Arsenal Football Club fans, welcome back. Arsenal Fan TV America. Arsenal American fans. You know what? 2021 is here. Happy New Year. Happy 2021. Hopefully this is a better year than 2020. We know as Arsenal Football Club fans that 2020 was a disappointment for us. We were at the worst league position since 1982. And 2020 is over. We have a lot of work to do as Arsenal Football Club if we want to continue to try and get back to our great times, greatness. What we're seeing now is not greatness. We beat West Brom. We won 4-0. Let's not get carried away. Considering the opponent. I think it's a team that's trying very, very hard. But of course, regarding their position in the league, you could tell that they were pretty weak. However, superstars, individual performance, great performance from great young players again. Kieran Tierney taking that ball from left-hand side. Instead of giving it to Aubameyang, he turns in, gets into the 18 from the left side, takes in a defender or shrugs him off, takes it in, and then turns around with his right foot. He's side-footed to curve around and to go around the goalkeeper. 1-0 Arsenal. And what a goal by the youngster. And that's what I was talking about. This football club has great players, ladies and gentlemen. And unfortunately, when we don't have the right guidance in the club and the right managers, we are risking losing those players or losing on developing those players. When we don't have qualified managers that are taking on the club, we now prevent those young players from being better. Joe Willock, I'm reading reports that Joe Willock is leaving the club. Why? I don't know. We saw Arsenal in 2020 losing players like Guendouzi. We saw Ozil benched. We lost Martinez because it's good business. I don't understand what's a good business. This is a very devoted goalkeeper. The young Argentinian was a die-hard Arsenal fan. I don't know, why would I get rid of him? Why would I sell him to a Premier League team that is now way above me and came to the Emirates and embarrassed us with his new team and they beat us? Of course, I'm talking about Aston Villa. So again, decision after decision. I don't know for Arsenal fans or the people that are backing Arteta out there, I don't know what else does he need to do for you to know that the guy's just no good. He's simply no good. Badcoaching.com. Mikel Arteta has no clue, still looking for players that are has-beens to bring to the football club, have players that are great and can't develop them to stay in the football club, doesn't have a vision, there's no footballing plan. We reached the worst performances and we reached the worst positioning in the league with this guy. He's still butchering us. You're still hearing reports here and there about players going that we know great players. Look at Saliba. He left. Finally, the kid wants to play. He had a personal problem that I don't think anyone around him was really helping him to manage that problem. He needed help from the coach or the manager that's, as we can see, has no experience in managing people. Therefore, William Saliba leaves and he goes to, again, another loan in France. Great defender. So I'm not sure if your excuse of it's a language barrier will fly with me. I know this is another good player that we lost. Add to the list of Guendouzi, Mesut Ozil, and now I'm hearing reports about Joe Willock. You don't need to go buy Willian when you have Martinelli, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Bukayo Saka, and Smith Rowe, and up front. You have Eddie Nketiah up front. So you have a lot of firepower up front, and you have a lot of wingers. And we just bought Pepe for a record fee in case you were absent or you didn't know about it. That's the same position you bought Willian, which came in the last game with West Brom. I thought that he was forced upon us to come in. I thought Martinelli should have came in. But as you know, Mikel Arteta prefers Willian. I don't know why he prefers him. He came in the first time he took the ball, he gave it away. The second time we passed the ball to him, he gave it away. I mean, his second touch, ball passed to him by an Arsenal player, he gave it away. The third and the fourth, and you can go back and watch that game. he was just lost. And I was looking for a player like Martinelli to come in, not Willian. So that's somebody you bought that's irrelevant really to the club. He's older, so don't tell me he's going to develop. We came out of game playing 4 in the back. So starting lineup, we had Bernd Leno in goal. And thank God he's in goal for us, the number one, our German goalkeeper. And I can't stress enough how important he is, how good of a player he is, was our starting goalkeeper at the West Brom game. In front of him was, again, Rob Holding and Pablo Mari. Now formulate some partnership, which we can see is not bad, is good. Of course, it needs to be better, but it's good for now. And on the left, we had our world-class Kieran Tierney, and our right-hand side, we had Hector Bellerin that, again, I don't know what's wrong with Hector, but struggling to perform a Hector Bellerin performance. In front of them, this time he started with Granit Xhaka and Dani Ceballos. Finally. Oh my God, do I have to hold my breath? I mean, how long would I have to wait for this guy to get it? It's pretty obvious that you wanted to not start both Mendy and Xhaka. Finally starts Dani Ceballos and Granit Xhaka, and he went with Emil Smith-Rowe again. And then your front three, Bukayo Saka on one side, Aubameyang on the other side, and Lacazette through the middle. Of course, Lacazette scored last game out, so he wanted to start him this time. I don't, see a problem or a huge problem with the front four, but of course, I could say also that Uba was not as ready as Martinelli. I wanted to see Martinelli come in and play in that role. I wanted to see Bukayo Saka on one side and Martinelli on the other side. When these two play, I see Arsenal produce the best football. I see them tucking in to get the ball. I see him going back to get the ball and trying to defend when we lose the ball. I see both of them pressuring equally on both sides. I see both of them running to the front. I see both of them trying to assist the ball. I see good football from both Bukayo Saka and Martinelli, always consistently on the pitch. So now with that said, I don't have to play Uba all the time, but again, good change in the midfield. The two holding midfielders were Dani Ceballos and Granit Xhaka. Lots of mistakes happen in the club. Lots of players that should stay left the club. Lots of players that should go stayed at the club. It was a cluster. I don't know till today if we have a football manager or if the club's managing itself and it's just going lali-dali. We're going into 2021. Happy New Year. So we asked the question of, can we recall Guendouzi back to our lineup? We miss him tremendously. He should come back. If you ask me, yes, he should come back. He should play right along with Thomas Partey. That's a pair that could be lethal. That could be a Premier League winning pair at some point. In front of them now you have Smith-Rowe, your front three, if we can agree to disagree, but playing Martinelli and Bukayo Saka is a must. And then in the front you have Lacazette as an option, you have Aubameyang as an option, you have all the options in the world. But to me, that's a complete football team. All the people out there that are talking about us not having the right players, now you can see that the players are solely responsible for all the past 3 wins. We've seen the players perform because they perform for the badge, they perform for the club. But trust me, don't get carried away. He still doesn't know what he's talking about. I still watch the interviews. He's not a manager. He doesn't have any experience. He's clueless. And again, we unfortunately, a lot of managers and leaders today, they get put in place without the experience. And we, as an Arsenal Football Club, we cannot take such chances. I'm hearing Mesut Ozil has his Fenerbahce deal very, very close. Also reports coming out that he's coming here to America to play for MLS, to play, I don't know for who yet, but I'm hearing that he is going to play for DC United, which is very far away from us, unfortunately, but hopefully we'll see him when he comes down at this side to play the Seattle Sounders and or the Portland Timbers. And that's very sad for us to see Mesut Ozil after 8 years. Club legend, absolutely. Club legend. We can talk about him for hours, but that's a player that was put on the shelf by Mikel Arteta. Why? We don't know. We see him running in training. We see him taking players on in training. We see him scoring in training. So I don't think it's an issue of him being fit. He's not hurt. We all know he's not hurt. We all know he's fit. We all know he's a world-class footballer that we unfortunately have to see go away. at the time, or in a time that we're very, very much in need for such a creative player to come and take us to the next level. We're missing this creativity up front, and yet we don't know why Mr. Ozil is going to another club, or why is he not starting, or why is he on the list. A lot of question marks here. I don't have the answers. I can't answer it for you. I'm looking for someone to answer it. We all see reports go in and out, but we don't know what the truth is, unfortunately. You know, the problem is we can't get carried away. And it's funny because now, if the team is losing, then it's on the players. But if the team is winning, then the manager is doing a good job. Are you kidding me? Let's just stop right now. And people that are saying that, just look yourself in the mirror and please do me a favor. You have to be reasonable. You really have to be reasonable. It's not that when we're losing, you blame the players, and now when we're winning, no. The players are winning for you right now, are winning for this football club. The manager, he still is clueless. It doesn't matter who plays for this guy. He proved already he's clueless. I don't need more proof for me to know that this guy is not the right man to be the manager for such a football club. And all the opinions and the reasonable people I know that I talk to and I read about say the same exact thing. Because it's a fact. It's a fact that he cannot handle the size of the club. It's the fact that he cannot manage a transfer window. He's choosing the wrong players to part ways with. He's choosing the wrong players to pursue and waste time. I don't know how much time he takes away from current players that needs his attention. He doesn't develop football players the way you should be developing young footballers for the club. And we at Arsenal Football Club, I'm sorry, we're used to not buying superstars. We're used to making them. We make superstars. And you could see that we do have the talent. We have Bukayo Saka. We have Martinelli. Those are 19 and 21-year-old, kids. We have Joe Willock. We have Smith Rowe. We have a lot of kids, a lot of teenagers, a lot of youngsters. We have Mikel Aziz that's going to come in and break in the team very, very soon. Needs the right development. We have the players. But do we have the right guidance? Do we have the right program? Do we have the right manager? I don't see that going the Arsenal way or the days of Arsene Wenger. And as you know, again, I've been an Arsenal fan for a long time, so I've watched the club with great managers like George Graham, with great managers like Arsene Wenger. I saw the direction that we were headed. I saw us developing players. I saw us acting accordingly when it came to a transfer window. But I don't see any of that happening today. And when I see it not happening today, that creates a worry and a problem. The inconsistency of the players, it's very obvious that the players are not collectively working together most of the time because of some, uncertainty, because of some issues at the dressing room that we all hear of. Pass and go. That's the football we're used to. And when it happens, we score beautiful goals. The second goal between all three front men, between Bukayo Saka, Smith Rowe, and Lacazette. And it ends with Bukayo Saka scoring a beautiful goal after a quick give and pass and go between him, Lacazette, and Emile Smith Rowe. And Bukayo Saka scores the second goal for Arsenal. Third goal was scored Alexander Lacazette. Third and the fourth came from Alexander Lacazette, which seems to be coming back into form. Why? Because he's playing his natural number 9 position. Look what happened to players when we play them at their position or at their preferred position. We all know for a fact that Alexander Lacazette, our number 9, is nothing but a number 9. He's a goal scorer. He likes to stay in the middle. He likes to score goals. And we could see he was positioned at the right place, at the right time. Ball hits him, goes into goal. And that's it. It's a wrap. Alexander Lacazette scored now 5 in his past 4. So great job by Alexander Lacazette, which I'm also hearing that Mikel Arteta does not want to extend his contract and wants to let him go. So again, we talk about transfer window. And of course, this is the January transfer window. And I talked earlier about Mikel Arteta and his choices, whom he chooses to pursue. Salzburg, Sondaka, he's looking at that $20 million striker to bring in for Alexander Lacazette. Salzburg, I don't know if he's qualified or he's someone that we should really pursue. Seems a good player, but I'm not sure he should replace Alexander Lacazette. Reports out of Germany that Julian Brandt, Borussia Dortmund playmaker, creative midfielder, however you want to call him, is now available for other teams to discuss his loan move. Borussia Dortmund does not want to sell the 24-year-old German yet. They don't want to give up on him. He's only gone 22 games, scoring like 4. So that's why he needs to get his confidence back. So they're trying to send him away on loan. Arsenal Football Club now is talking to him. I don't know why. Once again, we brought Willie in and we have 15 wingers. Now we're going to talk to Julian Brandt, and we have a lot of players that could play in that creative midfield position. Today you have Emil Smith-Rowe. We were talking to Isco also out of Real Madrid. We stopped pursuing that because how good the kid is. But again, we have the players. We don't need to talk to anybody that is not an Arsenal Football Club caliber. I also hear, and we're also talking to Carlos Soler from Valencia. He's a young midfielder, a young talent, creative, but I don't think that he is an Arsenal Football Club caliber yet. I just don't think so. When we looked at Houssam Aouar, I said to myself, yes, Lyon, yes, Champions League, all the way to almost final, to semi-final. And they played Champions League football. He looked great with the Lyon team, I thought. Good creative midfielder, got recalled to France. So yes, I can look at him. But I do have also Guendouzi that can fill in that creative midfield position. Let's not forget that. I now have Emil Smith-Rowe. So again, I have the players. I'm not sure why would I go pursue anybody in that position. I want to utilize my midfielder. So I'm questioning these transfers. And now we have Matt Macey, our goalkeeper also. He wants to play regular football. And now Macey, after all these years also, so he's leaving. So now we're left back in a very awkward position with the goalkeepers. I think we should also be looking for a goalkeeper. And another report tells you that we want to give Nelson and or Joe Willock to Norwich to pursue Emiliano Buendia. A good player, not great player. Not a great player for me to take my Joe Willock or Reece Nelson, and some big cash to entice Norwich to bring him to Arsenal Football Club. Again, the players that Arsenal pursued before were names that I heard of, or we made our own superstars. Today, he goes and looks for players that I don't know about. And trust me, I watch more football than you can imagine. Italian League, Scudetti. I watch the German football, Bundesliga, Ligue 1, French Premier League football. And I also watch the La Liga, which is the Spanish Premier League football. So watching all these clubs and watching all the big clubs and the movements of the players, I also watch every game of the Champions League. I like to be aware of the players out there and who plays where. So as much as I can, I watch these games. And from these names that he's talking to, nothing wows me. Nobody's wow. Even Isco. Why would you go and go after Isco, which we all know, if you watch Real Madrid today, Isco's not performing at his best. He's not giving his club his best. And I'm not sure it's a problem between the player and the coach or the player and the club, but I see the player not performing. Does he possess lots of skills and talents? Yes, he does. But again, I'm not sure why would I bring him and sit down a Smith-Rowe. We just acquired young Omar Rakik from Hertha Berlin. Started earlier today, which is Friday, to train with the under-23. I'm not sure why he's training with the under-23, not with the first team, but that's what happened. Another weird move from Mikel Arteta. He goes and buys a player, and then the player trains with the twin under-23. I don't think that we should be chasing those young talents out of the club. Now remember that those players, since Arsene Wenger left, did not receive any development and or proper instruction to reach their absolute best that we know they can reach. But without guidance, you can't reach anything. They need a great manager, a great coach that can direct them, that can move them the right direction, positioning them to become world-class footballers, because we know that they have the talent. So I'm not sure that it's the player's fault. Sometimes you just need to develop the player a little more. Sometimes you need to try other things, and sometimes you need to coach the talent, not the individual. Don't tell the player, hey, you have to fit here. See where the player fits and can give their best. There's so many different ways for a football coach to try and develop a player. More than one route to improve a player. Yet our coach, I know he's not that experienced, so he does not know, or he fails to develop those young players. Next match, FA Cup, we play the Newcastle United Magpies. Third round, we play the Magpies at the Emirates Stadium. I'm not sure how we will shape for tomorrow's game. I have no idea. I'm not sure if he's going to start youngsters more. I mean, the youngsters are the best players now, but I'm not sure if he's going to go with regular Premier League starters. I'm not sure if he's going to go with his best teams. I'm not sure. These are all questions that with him, I really can't predict. But to be honest with you, the FA Cup, which was one good thing we had in 2020, winning the FA Cup, and we won the FA Cup 14 times. Arsenal Football Club, 14 times. We are record holders for the FA Cup. So if it was me, I would start my A team. They have been rested since last Saturday. They haven't played the whole week. So I will keep him competitive. I'll try the best to fit a Thomas Partey in the middle. I would love to see Joe Willock right next to Partey. And if not, you can start Granit Xhaka and or Dani Ceballos. Either or, Thomas Partey, to me, represents two players. And the back four, I'd love to see Maitland-Niles starts on the right-hand side. And I want to see nothing but Kieran Tierney on the left-hand side, because he is our only natural left back that can play the whole entire left side. And then in the middle, I would love to see Gabriel and Pablo Mari both start. That's Gabriel and Pablo Mari both start. I don't want to set up the goalkeeper to start. I don't want to put Alex. I don't want to set him up to fail. So I will definitely start Bernd Leno, our number one, our German number one. Bernd Leno should start tomorrow. Now, off the bench, if you want to bring young players like Miguel Azizi and or you want to bring Balogun, and hopefully he stays, because there are reports also that he wants to leave. And for a young player like that, if he wants to leave, to me, ladies and gentlemen, that's a manager's fault. You should not. A young player is very, very easy to convince to stay at the club. Balogun, he's a great player. We want him to stay. Why are you going pursuing other players to bring in that position where you have players like him? So now the kid wants regular football, and he does not want to stay at the club. That's the reports, and that's what I'm hearing. So hopefully he stays. I would like to see him come off the bench and or start from the beginning. Why not? Why not put him, if you put Emil Smith-Rowe, Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, and put him up in front of that diamond as a sole striker? I'd like to see, that creativity. I'd like to see my football club manager going about it different ways. I'm not sure that that's something I should ask from Mikel Arteta, because he's very, very limited. I don't think he possesses that skills, but hopefully tomorrow the players go out and perform like the past 3 games when they've been on a high. So I'm asking again our players to come out guns blazing and go at Newcastle, go against those Magpies, really take that win from them. Sure that we have the players that are very, very capable of doing such. So good luck tomorrow, Gunners. Thank you very much. I appreciate your tuning in and watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you after the Newcastle game. Arsenal all the way. Come on, you Gunners.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.